We're getting exclusive new details tonight about a terror plot involving 2 Canadian men. Neighbors of one of the men in Montreal tell Global News he grew increasingly radical in the days leading up to his arrest. For months, the RCMP had been following him, along with a Toronto resident. And tonight we're learning the Mounties moved in on the men directly in response to the marathon bombings in Boston. Mike Couture reports.
Behind this door in the working-class Montreal apartment block, neighbors say lived one of the suspects accused of plotting a terrorist attack which targeted passenger trains. Global News has learned Chihab Ezeguiar shared this apartment with a roommate until last December. This neighbor told Global National's Mike Armstrong he had several confrontations with Ezeguiar over noise. He says he was awoken in the middle of the night by the suspect, who was praying very loudly. The landlord threatened Ezeguiar with eviction, but he only stopped for a couple of weeks. Ezeguiar lived here with a taxi driver who subletted the space, but the driver moved out first, apparently unable to deal with his new roommate. Neighbors say Ezeguiar was here until December, but left without notice. The man says nothing was left behind because Ezeguiar didn't have anything. The apartment didn't have internet or even a TV. The RCMP says they were watching the 30-year-old closely and arrested him at a McDonald's in Montreal's downtown train station Monday. Authorities say he and his co-accused were acting strangely. But today we got even more insight into what prompted police from the minister in charge of the RCMP.
One of the individuals began to act in a strange manner after the Boston bombings, and they decided that they simply could not compromise public safety and did not want to, and therefore moved on the arrest.
Safety and national security.
On the same day as the arrests, the government started debate on an anti-terrorism bill. One of the provisions would allow investigators to interrogate a witness even without charging them.
What do we have in place if we needed to question a suspect about a public and perhaps imminent public safety issue? Well, S7 addresses that issue.
While the minister admits that law would not have helped in this case, he says it could be useful in future investigations. Mike Couture, Global News, Ottawa.